You alright there, ladies and gents, how's it going? I'm out on my little tow rag, my Aprilia Tuareg 660. I'm heading over to Loomies Cafe to go and get myself some lunch and yeah, also get some more running in miles done on this bad boy. It's a lovely day, it's proper windy, but yeah, it's going to be a nice ride as long as I can avoid the traffic. But it's a Saturday, so I'll probably not be able to. Fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed.
Keep that body proper side down.
But yes, I'm so far absolutely loving this motorcycle. It's brilliant. It's kind of almost everything I wanted a motorcycle to be, or at least what I wanted from this motorcycle. I'm lucky enough to have a couple of bikes, so I've got one for each type of riding I want to do. And this one's my adventure bike that's taking me to lunch and to grab a coffee. Yeah, embarrassing, I know. But not all rides are adventures, or at least not all rides are going halfway across the universe. Some are just going to get you a cup of coffee. As I get more used to the motorcycle, well, there are some little bits which I'm finding niggles, I guess is the only way to put them. Nothing mega, nothing that I can't live with or what have you, but yeah, it's just a few little bits and bobs that are beginning to grate a little, I guess. Might be a bit harsh to say that, but the main thing at the moment for me, I find, is the throttle. It feels very stiff, and the Moto Guzzi V85 throttle also felt quite stiff without the heated grips fitted, and they improved it a little bit. So I'm hoping actually when I do get the heated grips fitted to this, the extra diameter of them will possibly make the throttle turn a little bit lighter, just because of gearing, you know, and leverage and all that sort of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see for that, because I still don't have them. I'm hoping they'll be there for when I get the first service done on this bike. But if not, it's not the end of the world, and I'll just get used to this and just wait for the bits and bobs to arrive down at my dealership. I mentioned in my last video that the throttle response is sort of got a weird response when in the set modes of Urban and Explore, and I wonder if maybe the whole thing is kind of linked. Maybe it's not got the best throttle position sensor, or I don't know, I really don't know. But yeah, so maybe when I get the heated grips, those modes might start working a little bit better, because again, I'll have my hand more guaranteed to be holding the throttle where I want it. Something I've also noticed on this is I get knocked out quite a bit by high winds. At least I'm assuming it's high winds, I'm hoping it's high winds, because it has been quite windy recently. And it feels like it's more noticeable on here than it has been on other bikes I've owned, but it might be just that we are having particularly high winds at the moment, so I'll keep my mind open about that and see how I get on over time with the bike. So nice having that extra 1000 RPM that I didn't know I had. Getting up to 7,000 just gives you that extra little bit of pep, and I do like having a little bit of extra pep. I came down here the other day on this bike. I didn't go all the way to Loomies, I just went down to Whiteways Cafe up on Berry Hill and come this way just because it's quite pretty, and I had a completely clear run through here, and it's just so unusual to get a clear run along the 272. It really is. Something I found out when I was reading the manual for this the other day is that it's got an automatic headlight, which is quite cool. A lot of these motorcycles with their fancy dashboards have a day mode and a night mode, and the sensor for that detects how dark it is outside, and it will flick between the two automatically if you allow it to do so. And it uses that sensor to tell you when to put the headlights on, which is kind of cool. I mean, you can turn it off, and I don't know whether it is an annoying setting. I don't know whether it will flick them on when you kind of just go between a couple of trees, or whether it waits for a period of time. But it's nice to have. It means that you're not sitting there trying to reach for the button if you go into an unlit tunnel or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of a good idea. I guess in some countries where you're not allowed to have just the daylight running lights on, you've always got your headlight on anyway, so that won't work for you. But it works for me on mine, on my UK motorcycle. Oh, what a glorious, glorious day. Even though it's pretty blustery, it's not cold, but I am massively, massively looking forward for the temperature to come up just enough for me to get my summer gloves out and put my winter ones away. I don't have a problem with wearing my winter gloves, but I definitely prefer the dexterity you get from the summer ones. No! Traffic on the bendy bits. Darn it! To be honest, along all these twiddly bits, I can't go too fast anyway, because having these more dirt orientated tyres on the bike means that it's a little bit twitchy on the tarmac at speed. It's a compromise I was willing to take. I have got other road bikes, so if I do really just want to go mad for speed and cornering and all that sort of stuff, then I can just ride one of those bikes. Yeah, so it's not all about speed on this bike, it's definitely not. It's about doing everything, being able to do everything. And boy, does this do almost everything extremely, extremely well. What a wonderful little motorbike it is. I love it very much. 30 and 30. It's very pretty around here, it really is. A lot of history. Proper old buildings. I went to adjust the chain on this when I got home from my ride the other day, and I couldn't find a socket the right size for the bike. I believe it's a 26mm it needs to undo the rear axle, and my socket set doesn't come with a 26mm, or at least I couldn't find one. So I went onto the Halfords website to see if I'd lost it by looking at what comes in the toolkit, and yeah, it doesn't come with a 26mm. So yeah, I did a bit of a tool purchasing spree yesterday, and have now got myself a second Halfords Professional, or whatever they call them, advanced socket set, and well, two socket sets actually, so a nice complete one so that I have got all the missing sockets that I have lost, but also a larger socket set which comes with a 26mm. So when I get home today, I should be able to adjust the chain properly. It does amaze me actually that the bike doesn't even come with the basic tools to adjust the chain, but to be honest, they're so cheap anyway, aren't they, the toolkits that you get with bikes. It makes sense to make your own up, doesn't it? It really does. But I'll get that sorted. I will get that sorted, and once I've worked out all the tools I need, I'll then be able to make up a bike specific tool roll to put in a tail bag or something like that to bring with me on rides, adventures and all that sort of stuff, so that I'm not going to get caught out. Oh man, the induction on this is amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I'm out up at higher speeds you can't really hear the induction noise of this. You probably can't even hear the engine particularly well because the wind noise is a little bit loud on this bike, with where my helmet sits in relation to the top of the screen there. It's not actually too bad for my ears. This helmet is, I've already mentioned that, but yeah, it's not too bad for my ears, but it does seem to pick up more wind noise on the camera microphone than it does me noise and bike noise. So yeah, I might have to look into seeing if I can do something about that. But yeah, you don't really get to hear the induction noise quite as well, except for at lower speeds. And I assure you, it's a delight. It really is. It really feels like you're opening that throttle. It's like the noise and increase in pace is just connected, which is obvious because it blooming well is. What an absolutely glorious glorious, glorious day to get out on a motorcycle, eh? I do like this hill. Man, there's a lot of traffic today though. I've held back a little bit just to hopefully give myself a little bit of a clear run going up it. It's not a very long hill, but it's just got such nice sweeping twiddly bits. It's not a fast speed limit, so you've got to be a bit respectful. But yeah, it's nice, it's fun. I like that little twiddly thing that we've just done. I've noticed sitting slightly further back on the seat on this is a bit more comfortable on my bum, so on longer journeys you might want to stretch out a little bit, give your posterior some comfort. It's a lovely little road this, it really is. Yeah. It took me a long time to see the benefits of coming down to Loomies in my earlier days of biking. Just avoided it. I'm not sure why. I think I had a bad experience there one time when it was under its old management, and I just didn't rate it. I couldn't work out why people liked it. But now I quite like going there. Car park can be a bit of a squash, but that's a sign of a good place surely. When I park up there, I do have to remember to park in a place where I can get on the bike easily. I made that mistake up at Whiteways Cafe the other day. I tried getting on in a place where I couldn't get my other foot down to flip-flop the bike across to get the stand up. So I had to kind of do a little bit of a shuffling and relocate to a place where I could get on it. Must have given the people there having a brew a giggle. Bit of tunnel time. Nice. Child. Yeah, it's a nice little leg stretch coming down to Loomies. It's a lovely road. I would carry on overtaking past all these cars, but to be honest we're almost there, so there's very little point in chasing the tenths of these last 3 corners. Well, alrighty, we are just about here. If you're new to my channel and you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button. It'd be brilliant to have you come back and watch some more. Got several other motorcycles, so there might be something that interests you even if this Aprilia doesn't. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a little thumbs up, and if you didn't, you can always give it a little thumbs down. That's all cool in the school. But please do drop in a comment. I very much love hearing from you. Anyhowsals, you ride safe, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Keep that bar. Rubber side down. You know, you gotta keep that bar. Rubber side down.
Oh yeah.